All right, sorry about that long wait, y'all. I was in a stream and there was this guy in there holding me back, but I'm here now. And today we have Where's West. You've seen him the other day on my live stream, and we will be interviewing him about him and his experience in Colombia and just more information. So if anybody's on the fence about traveling, you're about to hear straight from the horse's mouth somebody that started from beginning to end. He has the perfect travel story. He went overseas. He's not just doing sex tourism. He's married. So here he is.
What's
What's
up,
going on?
brother?
How's it going?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you, man?
I'm doing excellent.
Yeah, bro. It's pretty awesome, like watching your rise, bro. I feel like it came out of nowhere, and you're like breaking
Yeah,
the internet right now. It's pretty
yeah.
crazy.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah. How do you feel about like all this like attention that you're getting right now?
It's I love it. One, but it's hard keeping up with everybody's messages right now.
I believe it. Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I have a lot on my plate in such a short amount of time, so it didn't progress slowly. It just came all at once. So
Yeah. No, I saw that. Yeah, that's why like when I first saw your video, I'm like, dang, I want to talk to this guy before he gets like 100,000 subscribers and he can't be reachable
yeah,
anymore. So
yeah.
I wanted to say what's up.
Thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. So, give everybody. It seems like a lot of people in here already know who you are, but give them a introduction to you.
Yeah, so I came to Colombia in January of 2020. I have a crazy story. I originally came here because I had a really big fight with my dad. I was living in LA. I wasn't happy with my life there, so I had a big fight with my dad that just caused me to sell all my things. I used to be a professional pianist back in LA, and before I left, I set up like a cruise pianist gig for myself, and I had a contract lined up. So the idea was I was going to go to Colombia for like a month and a half, and when my cruise contract was ready, I was going to come back and then, take off. But my first week here in Colombia, they canceled my cruise contract, which ended up being a blessing because COVID destroyed the cruise industry. And I got stuck in Colombia for the pandemic. So I was like, dang, I'm just going to make my life here. I don't have anything tie me down back at home. So I just started from the ground up. I spent a year in Medellin. I focused on producing music. That's my main money maker. I'm a jazz producer. And then I started getting into YouTube, and I used that money and I opened a restaurant last year. And then I moved out of
Wow.
Medellin because Medellin got really like, I don't know like how many people here have gone to Medellin. Medellin's getting really saturated really quickly, and it's a lot of sex tourism. And we can talk about that a little bit. But yeah, I moved out of Medellin. I went to the city called Manizales. I met my wife March of last year, and then we got married a couple months ago. And yeah, now I'm living my life here in Colombia.
How old are you?
27. 27.
27.
Yeah.
Okay. Somebody sends a super chat. So by the way, I'm gonna ask. We're gonna compare because people want to see us compare dating in Colombia versus Brazil.
Yeah, yeah.
We.
And I think something's cool is that because you're like a young guy. You're 23, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, I feel like most of the people talking about like moving or like getting your passport and stuff, they're mostly like 30, 40 retired people. So it's nice being able to talk to someone who's like actually good looking, who has game, and who's on the younger side. So it's dope.
Thank you. Where's West? No reservation says Where's West gives good vibes. We love to have you on my channel, brother. About Colombia, I never been, and I got questions. Salute, Austin.
Let's do it, bro. I'm
Appreciate that
down. Yeah,
super
let's
chat.
go. Let's do it. Yeah.
Good to see you here today, sir. So, we got another one. Colombia and Brazil is going to be good. Appreciate that super chat, Will.
Cool.
So, what would you say are the positives to living in Colombia?
Yeah, so Colombia is cool because out of a lot of like Latin American countries, I feel like it's still pretty untapped. For I know you have a really big black audience. The black population in Colombia is really big, and
Mhm.
yeah, the women here just like look better, man. Like you, I think you said I saw your Melanie King interview, and they're just more beautiful here, and it's
Mhm.
because Colombia there's more women than there are men. So the women, it's very competitive here, so they understand the importance of beauty. I feel like in the States right now, obesity is such a fucking issue, bro. Like if you were just to tell a girl like, hey, do you mind if you don't get fat or just like stay in shape? Like that's like fat shaming and shit like that. Whereas
Mhm.
here, like I talked to my wife about it when we started dating. The second month, I told her like, hey, it's not acceptable if for you to like lose weight, to like let yourself go, right? When you have kids and stuff, that's all good, but in general, I want to be attracted to my woman, and because Colombian culture is more open to that, she's like, okay, yeah, that's fine. And then I bought her the gym membership, and she goes now. So
So, what is she going to like a Smart Fit? Do they have Smart Fit out there too?
Yeah, SmartFit's the big one here. There's one called Body Tech. I don't know if they have that in Brazil,
Hmm.
but
They have
it's
that in
like
Brazil.
it's the closest one to my house. So yeah,
Okay. Yeah, they have
yeah,
body tech in Brazil as well. So Taylor, the 13th says, despite the backlash he gets, he's got my respect. Are you talking
appreciate
about?
that.
He's talking about you.
I don't know. Maybe you. I don't know. Yeah, but you're
Yeah,
getting a lot of backlash too now, bro.
yeah, yeah. We got one more right here. EKNL says supporting the channel, but I'm definitely appreciate that super chat as well, Taylor. Supporting the channel, but I'm definitely going to Colombia finally this year. Next, I've had my passport for years already. Need to brush up on my Spanish.
Cool.
I
Yeah.
appreciate this super chat. Yeah, you definitely need to learn the language. So,
Yeah, yeah. Let's talk
how long
about
did it
that.
take you to
So,
do that?
what was that?
How long did it take you to learn Spanish?
It took me about 6 months to get to like a basic fluency. So when I
Mhm.
arrived at Colombia, I actually didn't speak any Spanish, and on my channel, I made videos from when I started from zero up until when I got fluent. About 6 months, I was pretty conversationally fluent, where I can like live day to day. And then after a year, I was able to move to a city where nobody speaks English and just live on my own. So about a
Hmm.
year, I would say.
And how would you say the culture has accepted you? Are there a lot of Asians in Colombia, or are you
No,
seeing
in
people?
Bogota, like the capital city, there's a lot of Asian companies, like tech companies that are coming. But for the most part, like I'm such an anomaly. So just being here, I capture so much attention. People are always like trying to ask me like, "Oh, where are you from?" They don't assume I'm American. They assume I'm from China. But yeah, man, I don't know if you know how much you know about this, but like in the States, like Asians are finally kind of getting popular. But for the longest time, Asians have been so emasculated, man. And people just like we were just people would always make fun of us, and Asians were always at the bottom of the totem pole. And yeah, I came here to Latin
Hmm.
America, and then like Asians are seen like on like we're seen as responsible, we're seen as attractive. It's pretty crazy the difference.
Yeah, which is how I look at it. I don't know why that's like that, but America is a place of hatred. So
It really is.
that's not shocking to hear that. Yeah.
What do you feel like you're the? Do you feel like as a black guy, right? Do you get treated differently in Brazil versus the U.S.? What's that experience like?
I've never experienced a lot of racism at all, really. I mean, I've been called, names, but not directly to my face. It was like a kind of a cowardly move, like, oh, I'm driving by and he wants to, yell it when I'm driving by, where I'm not really sure.
Right,
But in either country, I wouldn't say I've experienced enough. I think I didn't. I haven't seen any racism in Brazil. I made a video about it, but it was something I had gotten to with the police. But I don't think that was more. I don't think that was a racism thing. But that's another
yeah,
topic.
I
Uh,
see. Do you feel like they targeted you because you were like they thought you were American?
no, because whenever I told them I was from America, they calmed down.
I see. I
Yeah,
see.
and they let me go. I think if I wouldn't have said that, I would have stayed in. The trouble would have gotten worse, and
I
really
see. I
bad.
see.
But
So what was like the thing that so you're pretty young, right? I feel like not a lot of young people have this mentality. What was the thing for you that really like opened your eyes to want to travel to Brazil?
uh, well, I knew for one that the culture that we had in the United States, it couldn't be right.
Yeah,
I knew the things that the dating culture we have, it just couldn't be right. So I was like, I need to change my entire environment, put myself somewhere completely different, and make sure I'm not the problem.
right,
Because people love to say, "Oh, well, change your approach or self improve." You can only do so much of that. You can only change. There's only so many different ways you can approach.
right,
And then they let say, "Oh, you're just attracting the wrong person." Well, I went to a different group of people that
right.
speak a different language, so the approach has to be different. I've for sure self improved since I first started noticing the problem. So, and it's been completely different. So that is what drove me with all the issues like that. And
Yeah.
yeah, I realized that it's just a culture thing, and I'm just not. Hey, maybe the United States works for some people. I'm not fit for the bullshit.
Right, right. No, I'm glad you said that, bro. That's how I feel too. Like when I talk about like moving to a different country to try to date, it's not like it's necessarily better in other countries. It's just different, right? Like if you believe in traditional values, if you believe in masculine men, if you believe like the man's a man, the woman's a woman, those
Mhm.
kind of traditional things. You say that in the States right now, people want to cancel you. People call you misogynist, racist, all that shit. And you come here and all of a sudden the same like mentality, and then the women are like, oh my god, you're a masculine man. Like they appreciate it here. It's pretty crazy the difference.
Yeah, they're very into emasculating men. It's like the women are trying to take control in the United States right now. But Theodore Anderson says, I've been to South America 5 times, mainly in Peru. Speak Spanish pretty well, and it's night and day dating here in the U.S., especially if you're a conservative male with traditional values. Yeah, it's definitely
Yeah,
so. If you're conservative, I think, yeah, anywhere in Latin America, anywhere in Asia, just about for sure, anywhere in Africa,
that's what I. Yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's your best bet. But the United States is liberalism on steroids. So
It really is, bro.
yeah,
Yeah, no, that's
yeah.
100% true. Do you think? Have you ever thought about going to Africa?
I really want to go to Ethiopia, and I've always wanted to go to South Africa, but I think I'm more hyped about Ethiopia. But Ethiopia is the true definition of a third world country.
Mm,
Like, well, I think I'd give that more so to like somewhere like Madagascar, but Ethiopia is for sure not a first or second world, but everywhere has its parts. But
yeah, yeah, that's cool, bro. But yeah, Asia's not better, bro. I've seen a lot of Asian families, Asian women. Some of them, I guess, are submissive, but the tiger mom stereotype exists for a reason too. So, one of the reasons why I was like into dating Latin women because I'm from LA, right? So I always kind of dated Latin, like Mexican American women. I was just always around Latin people. But I was very turned off by like by my own race. This is gonna sound really messed up, but a lot of Asian American women are extremely masculine too. They have a lot of the same problems that I've seen you like the black community complain about their women as well. And I felt like the Latin people in America, they still have American values, but out of all the cultures, they retained their the Latin roots more than like other cultures. I don't know if you've noticed that too.
hmm hmm so what would you say attracted you to your wife?
So I've talked about it a lot on my channel. So my whole entire journey is I was a part of like the whole like I was spinning plates. I was out there dating, trying to get with as many women as possible. But if I'm being honest, bro, I'm always been like a relationship kind of guy. I think I've always wanted to get married. I'm a pretty strong believer of Christ right now. So I believe that marriage and the nuclear family and all those things. So there was a couple things when I was in Medellin. I was in two toxic relationships. I dated a black Colombian girl from Choco that ended up in flames, and I dated a Venezuelan webcam model that I ended up getting pregnant. And those two experiences had a really crazy impact on like how I was living my life. So I decided, I was like, I don't want to be in these streets anymore. I want to find a good woman that I can settle down with and build a family with. And then I came here to Manizales, and it's a very conservative. The Christian and Catholic values are strong here, and I found a godly woman. Man, she's someone who appreciates the man, respects God, low body counts, very modest. Believes in all these traditional values that I wanted in a wife. So I found like I just the more that I thought about it, I listed like all the things that I want from a wife, and she fulfilled everything. So yeah, I'm really happy with her.
So I would say in Brazil, I didn't really run into. I've only been to Rio though. I
Right.
didn't really run into too many godly women, or they're like what some people call like Christians, convenient Christians, or they're
Right.
religious when it's cool to in that moment. Somebody
Yeah,
like
the club on Saturday and church on Sunday, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody Deuces of Growth. Thank you for the super chat. He says I'm African. Our women are very masculine. That's my first time hearing that. I mean, I've heard that some African countries are falling to feminism a little bit, but
Yeah.
I've heard that about Brazil. But Brazil, clearly, it must be so minute that it doesn't feel like it's there at all to me. But
Yeah. I think it depends, like, because you went to Rio. Rio's like the bigger city, so I would compare Rio to like Medellin or Bogota. The big cities, religion's not really a big thing. Like, if you go to Medellin, it's a very sexualized city. So I'm from LA, and I feel like Medellin dating culture is so similar to LA. It's very superficial. Most of the women there are like operated. There's a lot of like sugar daddy relationships. So like Medellin is like Miami and LA. But I mean, if you're into that thing, if that's what you're looking for, that's cool. But if you're looking for like a wife or you want like a long term partner, you should definitely need to check out like the smaller cities.
I think I'm gonna have to do that because yeah, that's I don't want to be anything similar to the United States right now.
Bro, I don't know what it's like in Brazil, but I'm gonna tell you right now in Colombia, dude, it's coming, man. I've said it on my channel. Like Colombia is essentially the U.S., but like 10 years behind. So I have a business here. I have my restaurant here, right? I've had a lot of female employees. I've seen like women my age and below, they have the same like Western bullshit mentality. And because Colombia has a lot of broken families, like 84% of kids are born out of wedlock here. So there's not a lot of dads in the house. So a lot of the new generation of women don't trust men. So like they may like look differently, you know, they may come in different packaging, but that shit is happening here in Colombia too. So that's why I had to marry older. My wife is 34, so she's 7 years older than me, and it's because I was dating people my age and dating younger women, and I just felt like they were just so immature.
Yeah.
It's like, and it's the same shit, bro. And I don't understand why people will be like, "Oh, I'm gonna go to these countries and date a 23-year-old." I'm like, dude, have you talked to a 23-year-old? Dude, it's
Mm-mm.
I don't know, bro.
23-year-olds are good to smash, but then to talk to, they don't have a lot of conversation.
That's what I'm saying, right? Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
what do you? So you said that you normally go for like older women, right?
Yeah.
Why?
And it's not even, well, I'm not gonna say that I don't try to, but I'm just very into that grown, not old, but just the very mature looking. I don't really like if
Yeah.
she looks like, I think there's a certain, like, your muscles mature at a certain point. I don't think most women under 25, they don't have that muscle maturity look. Like they don't just look. I don't know. I just
Interesting.
like, I want her to be a full grown adult.
Right,
She
right.
doesn't need to be 40. But yeah, so
Yeah.
and
What's the oldest you've ever dated?
huh?
What's the oldest you've ever dated?
Ooh, dated was like 33, but I've slept with people a lot older than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot older than that, like 30 years my age. So,
That's bro, that's crazy.
yeah,
I like older women. That I think the biggest age gap I did when I was in Europe, I slept with a Spanish girl, and she was 37, I think, and I was 24 at the time when I was traveling. But yeah, 30 years older than you, bro. You wildin', man. That's a
yeah,
little that's a little
yeah.
much.
I would still do it today, but I don't. I wouldn't go looking for it.
Yeah,
But so what would you say about the cost of living in
right.
Medellin? Medellin.
So the cost of living in Colombia is pretty much like a third or a fourth of what you're going to be paying in the States. If you make like $1,500 a month, you're going to live a really comfortable life in Medellin.
Mm.
I'm a pretty simple guy. I'm a pretty like minimalist dude. I get by with $1,000 a month, and that my rent's like 350. I have like a 3-bedroom apartment with food and everything, and taking my girl out on dates and all the bills comes out to around $1,000 a month. But in Medellin, a lot of people want to go to like live like kings, and that's cool too. But even then, if you like 2,500, that's talking like you're gonna be able to get a penthouse. You're gonna be able to eat out most of the time. It's because literally the dollar is like worth 4 times as much here in Colombia.
Wow.
Yeah. Have you been? You haven't been to Colombia yet, right?
No, no, but I'm
Yeah.
about to be. I'm about to be there.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, after a lot of people been saying about Medellin, so I'm gonna have to jump around the whole country because that I can't do it. Did you watch the panel last night?
I
That it was.
didn't. I did not. I think I caught a little bit, but no, I didn't get a chance to see it.
Yeah, that was dope. You should have been there. But I put it on Patreon because it was that much information point where I can't let that one slide for free. Like it was
Nice,
really
bro.
good. But yeah,
Yeah.
so what is crime like where you live at now?
Yeah. So the city that I live in is actually the safest city in Colombia, Manizales. Because and so crime's not big here. But I actually want to. This is a good topic because in Medellin right now, as a foreigner, we kind of have targets on our backs. So I don't know if you've been following Colombian news, but there's a lot of like scopolamine is really really common.
Mhm.
There was a guy who died in Santa Marta last year. I forgot what his name was. He married a Colombian girl. He opened a restaurant, and someone was trying to jack him on the street, and he got shot. And there's a lot of like foreigner deaths that have been happening with drugs and stuff like that. So the issue with Medellin, right? Um, how do I say this? A lot of times, Americans, we don't know how to act when we travel. So when we
Yep.
go to a country, right, we like to be flashy. You know, we like to dress a nice watch and like kind of show off the money, but that just kind of puts a target on your back. So my advice is because, especially if you're like a black dude, you're gonna blend in. If you dress normally, you're gonna look Colombian. So you want to try to blend in as much as possible. Like for me, I'm fucking Asian, so like no matter where I go, like I'm gonna stand out. But you want to try to do your best to blend it as much as possible because once they see that you're a foreigner, they're gonna target you, and it's foreigners right now. Medellin is a little hot right now for robbings and druggings, I would say.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would like to what the live stream is saying and what people think, but from what I'm saying is like from what I'm seeing right now, it's yeah, it's not the safest in Medellin.
That makes sense though, because Medellin is so close to the United States that, like you said, people go over there dressed up and they put a target on themselves. But like you
Yeah,
said, in Brazil, if you blend in, now there were days in Rio I got comfortable enough where I didn't blend in a lot of times when we were dressed. I didn't wear a lot of jewelry, but
yeah, yeah,
we weren't wearing shorts and t-shirts all the time. But you said after a while you learn where to move in Rio, I realized. But Deuces of Bro
exactly.
says you'll get femininity in East Africa, Tanzania, Rwanda, Ghana, North Africa, and Southern Africa. Should have said the whole damn place.
Yeah,
Uh, just stay
yeah,
away from Central Africa and Nigeria. I've heard about Nigeria.
right.
I've heard about Nigeria, Central Africa. I couldn't imagine because the Congo is in Central Africa. I wouldn't think that they'd be too masculine there, but I appreciate that super chat. He put
Yeah,
another one as well.
yeah,
But Tanzania competes with Brazil. You won't resist. It's the best. Check out Zanzibar. I will check that out. One day I'm gonna go there.
nice.
I appreciate that super chat as well.
So when you say that like women in the states are masculine, right, and Brazilian women are feminine, like what do you mean by that?
So to start with the whole independent thing, like that, I don't need a man. You don't get that in Brazil, and if you do get that, they don't mean that I don't need a man for everything. In the United States, women say for everything.
Yeah, that's true.
Brazil, they're just talking about financially, and they're not gonna bring that up without you asking. I've had a woman in Brazil say that like I'm independent, but I had to bring it up. But
Yeah.
in the United States, it's like a degree. Like they're just ready to show you. Like, look what I got. Like I don't need.
Yeah, yeah, right.
That's
Where
not
do you think
attractive
that comes from? Why do you think the women are like that?
because they don't have any talent. So they have to they have to do something to make
Yeah.
themselves look better. Somebody just said in the comments. That's another thing of masculinity. I noticed this with my mother. They will try to fight you. And we
Mm,
know women cannot fight, men cannot fight women because typically it's an unfair fight because the average man is bigger, stronger, faster than the
yep,
average woman. So
exactly.
you shouldn't beat on women because of that. But
Yeah. But sometimes, bro, we get to the point where it's like, man, I wish someone would slap the shit out of you right now.
yeah, well, see, the thing in the United States is the women they want you to hit them. Like
Yeah.
if you walk, I've seen dudes walk away and the woman follows them and will open the car door and punch him. And it's like, okay, now you can't. You want to behave like a man. You can only take. He tried to walk away,
Right.
so that's something that goes on in the United States. He said black women punched him in the face while he was driving. Yeah, they do stuff like that.
Yeah. Do you think it's just like it's a really big problem in the black community, or you think it's just generally like an American thing?
Generally, it's in America, but I always say most of these issues I talk about are enhanced in the black community, or they're emphasized in the black community because we have the worst out of all these issues. For some reason, our women are the most uncooperative. Another thing, how are women masculine? They call you bro.
Bro,
My age
yeah,
range,
dude.
they're calling you bro. That shit pisses me off.
Dude, I know like my sister, I mean, I love my sister, but like her friends and stuff, like they call their boyfriends like the N-word and bro, and like
Yeah.
I was like, what? How? Yeah, that's crazy to me.
Yeah, so in Brazil, there is no women don't have an equivalent that they call you the bro. They either call you by your name or they call you baby or something
Mi
sweet.
amor, mi vida, mi
Yeah,
cielo. Yeah, that's true.
yeah, they don't. Yeah.
Something I wanted to point out is that with the whole like the mask, like you were saying, the degree thing, right? Something different about Colombian women is that they will quit their job to build a business with their man. They would rather like work for the family and build a business with their man. Whereas I feel like in the States, it's like, oh, the women are like, oh, I have my business. The guy has his business. We're gonna be like this Jay-Z, Beyonce power couple shit. But here in Colombia, it's like, no, like, okay, so my girl right now, right? She works as an accountant for the hospital. But her and I, we had an argument about this. I was like, dude, you're working so much, but I'm paying for most of the bills. Why don't you just quit your job? I would rather have you working for like my restaurant or doing accounting for the house and helping the YouTube channel out, and we can build something together. And then at first she was like scared to leave her job, but then at the end she was like, okay, if that's what you feel like is right as the man of the relationship, I'm gonna submit, and then I'm gonna follow you. You know. Whereas I feel like that kind of cooperation you don't really get in the States because the women are so like, no, is I have to have my own shit. I have to like have my own money because what if the guy leaves me? You know, like that they have this weird fear-based mentality. I don't know. What do you think about that?
And so that is a logical point that they make, that what if he leaves me? But like Rilla just said, they're not in the United States. You said the Jay-Z power couple, they say that, right? But what they really want to do is they want to compete with you. I've had my ex-girlfriend wanted to compete with me. And that's not, I don't marry competition. That doesn't, that's how dumb they are. That's just not smart. It's just but that's what, you can't fix it. You can't even tell them where they're wrong at. So your best bet
Right.
is to just leave, because you
Yeah.
can't tell them where they're wrong at.
Do you think that it's gonna get better? Do you think there's gonna be like a change in the culture? You think the West is too far gone?
At the most, if this message spreads big enough, which it will, if they may wake up if a lot of men leave, but then even then it'd be too late. But I honestly, I don't care where it goes.
Yeah.
I got to do what's best for me, and I got to influence other people to be able to do the same.
Yeah.
So
So what's the future for you, bro? What's the plan? What are you trying to do with all this stuff?
So I'm pretty sold on Brazil. I've always wanted to go to Brazil and marry a Brazilian woman in the future, but
Mm.
I have to travel the entire world first to make sure, because I know me.
Okay.
But I
How
would
many
love.
countries have you been? Sorry. Go ahead.
Huh?
How many countries have you been to?
I've only been to Brazil. I could have went to two, but I love Brazil so much. I went out there twice this year. But
Nice.
I'll be
Yeah.
coming to Colombia, and I'm gonna pick another country before the year is up again.
Nice. Have you thought about Mexico?
So countries that are just high with American tourism, I'm saving last. So like Mexico, Canada, Jamaica, Dominican Republic, England, those typical US countries that people from the United States will go to.
Right.
I'm gonna do those last.
Okay, cool. But yeah, I would highly recommend checking out Europe, Asia. I've traveled a lot. I've been to 32 countries. A lot of it was like just kind of touristy stuff, but I spent a couple months in Europe, and that's actually what gave me the original idea to move out of the States. Because I feel like in the States, a lot of times, just like with the programming of everything, there's a lot of fear-based programming. So a lot of people are they. It's crazy. Americans are weird because Americans make all this money, but they don't want to travel. They kind of just want to stay in their bubble, and they think everywhere else is dangerous, right? And
Mhm.
I went to Europe for a couple months, and it just opened my eyes because I met a lot of people that are just like, yeah, dude, fuck the States, man. I hate the culture there. I booked a one-way ticket to Barcelona or New Zealand or whatever, right? And I've been traveling ever since. And that's what opened my eyes to like the possibility that, the being an American in other places, our dollar is so strong and our passport is so strong that we need to take advantage of it, you know? And
Yeah,
yeah,
a lot of people don't. They don't even want to take the risk of taking advantage of that.
yeah, totally. But yeah, so I got a couple things that I wrote some notes about Colombia. I'm gonna try to get through it as much as possible. And if anybody has any questions, I don't know if people have been like asking questions and stuff about Colombia. Yeah, so the notes that I have is Spanish necessary? I'm sure you can talk about this about Brazil, but I think if you want to move to Colombia, you have to learn a good amount of Spanish. And the reason for that is if you go to Medellin, if you go to any of these big cities, and you don't speak Spanish, you're going to be messing with all the girls that are messing with all the other gringos, right? So if you're just going for fun or you just want to smash, all right, that's one thing. But if you're looking for a relationship or a wife, you kind of have to get off the beaten path. So if you have like just a basic level of Spanish, the whole entire country opens up to you. Rather than if you don't speak any Spanish, then your dating pool is really limited.
So I'll say to contrast that in Brazil, you can get away with not knowing Portuguese, but just know that almost nobody there, not almost, but maybe 10% of Brazil, of Rio, knows English, it seems like. Maybe if
Mm,
you go out west to Barra da Tijuca, it's more English that way. But the translator works just fine. They seem to be very patient with that. But I don't think that a regular Brazilian chick, the average regular Brazilian chick in Rio, will kind of push you off or be standoffish because you don't know Portuguese. I
I
think that's
also feel like Portuguese is a pretty obscure language. Like Spanish is a lot bigger, but Portuguese is just in Brazil, so maybe they're a lot more like forgiving because of that.
it might be, and it's kind of hard to remember all the different sayings in Portuguese. Portuguese has a lot of the same words. I mean, different words that mean the exact same thing. There's four different ways to say you. So
Really? Oh,
yeah, yeah, it's like
well,
tu, você, chi, ta. Those all mean you.
oh, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
Yeah.
It takes a while to be able to pick up on all of that. Like even some of the stuff I hear, they'll say chi when they mean to say you, and I have to. Oh, okay, she means you. Okay, yeah, but that.
Interesting. How so a big problem in Colombia, and a lot of foreigners complain about this, is that there's a lot of single moms everywhere, and most of
Mhm.
the men that come here to date, there's always like kids attached. Do you know anything about that in Brazil? If there's a lot of single moms there too.
Uh, was there a lot? It wasn't uncommon to find one. Now that I think about it, I think most, maybe half the women I talked to were single mothers, but it's not
Yeah.
like if you look at the statistics, it's not beating the United States.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
But why do you feel like a large proportion of the women that were contacting you or that you talked with were single moms?
in Brazil,
Yeah.
uh, I would say maybe like 30 to 40%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like here in Colombia, it's probably closer to like 70 and 80%. It's a common complaint that a lot of foreigners make about Colombia is like all the women are fucking gold diggers and all of them have kids and all of them they just want money and stuff like that. So that's something to keep in mind as well, which is why like when you come to Colombia, you just want to be as low key as possible because if you try to flaunt the fact that you're a foreigner, you're gonna attract a lot of the wrong people. And
Hmm.
um and yeah, man, I feel like most of the people that are coming to the states, are from the states. You want to have like your whole face, but I feel like a lot of people are actually looking for like a wife or a partner and stuff, right? So, um, yeah, but yeah, in my opinion, I think you should stay away from single moms. It's just a mess and a half. But
Oh yeah, I'm learning that single mothers. Yeah, no, because I'm getting to a point where I don't want to raise anybody else's. I didn't want to do that anyway.
yeah,
But
right,
that's yeah. Mm-mm.
yeah, it's a huge issue. Um, Yeah. Um, no, I don't know, man. Where? Oh yeah. Okay. So where to find girls? So personally, I would try to stay away from Medellin. If you want to go to Bogota, the women there are a little more like studious. They're more like work about their job,
Mhm.
and they're more about trying to build something, right? I feel like in Medellin, it's very superficial. The women are like it's a lot of operation, a lot of sugar daddy kind of stuff, like Miami. There's a lot of low key cities in Colombia too. So like Armenia, Pereira, where I live in Manizales, Bucaramanga, like Barranquilla, Santa Marta, right? Those I actually feel like those cities are way better for dating. I think everybody goes to Medellin because it's like the big one, the big city that everyone knows. But if you're really looking for a partner, I would suggest checking out those smaller cities.
Okay, so let's read this super chat real quick. Neil Stewart says, "Hello, gentlemen, showing support." Wes, I saw your video on how you found your wife. Appreciate the super chat. We got
Yeah.
Clarence right here. Thank you for the super chat, sir. Somebody asked, uh, how are cell phones? How do the cell phones work out there? I guess they're saying how's the signal or
Oh, okay. I mean, you can if you have T-Mobile back in the States, your T-Mobile thing works here. But
Mhm.
what I recommend for most people is get a phone with like two SIM cards and just buy like a prepaid card plan on the street. So you just get like a SIM card and you just recharge it every 20 to 30 days. It's not expensive. It's like $10 maybe for the card and the plan. And you do that for your time here. And then when you leave, you just throw it away.
So, what are the beaches like in Colombia? Are there a lot of vendors? I know in Brazil, there's so many vendors on the fucking beach, you almost can't enjoy it sometimes.
Bro, it's the same in Cartagena. I've only been to Cartagena. I heard like Santa Marta is a little better, but dude, Cartagena is so fucking tourisized now that anywhere you go on the street, it's just constantly people trying to sell you shit. And even when you're on the beach and like some of the private beaches, it's just they're so aggressive about it with like massages or trying to sell. Yeah, I don't know,
I've
man.
heard
If
of
I'm
that.
being honest, it's there are a lot better beaches in the world. I think if you want to really enjoy the beach, I would go to Mexico, go to Bali, Thailand. Those beaches are nice. The Philippines, right? But if I'm being real, like Cartagena's beach is it's pretty underrated in my opinion, or overrated in my opinion.
So he said, American Brazilian says, good evening, gentlemen. No place like Brazil. I would agree. Brazil is very much its own thing. I haven't been beaten by it yet. Thanks for the
Yeah.
super chat. And wow, ZRS TV, thank you for the super chat. People said they're subscribing to your channel now.
So
This
sounds good.
dude says a lot of truth or very truthful. Muito verdadeiro. Um, Houston and Bogota 280. Okay.
Oh yeah. So do you like what's your plan? Do you want to get married or are you just trying to like date around for a bit or what long-term goal do you want to get married or not really?
I do want to get married. I want 5 kids, but just
Why
not.
five, dude?
I don't know, man. I feel like I need to leave a legacy, man. I
Yeah.
need to have. I need to be spread out. I need to. What do they call it? Duplicate myself. So
Yeah.
I want most of them to be boys too.
Yeah. I think it's cool that you think like that because I think a lot of people nowadays don't really want to have kids, but I'm on the same board with you, bro. I think like after you make all your money, after you do all your traveling, is like what's next, right? I feel like having kids and watching them grow up and making little U's is like the I don't know, it just I feel like it brings a lot of joy. Yeah.
So somebody has a question right here. They say, Jay Reed, thanks for the super chat. They say, what are the Afro Black cities like in Colombia? I mean, what are they?
Yeah, I would say so the highest block population is like Choco. The closer you get to the coast, the darker the population gets. I live in Manizales. It's in the Paisa area, so it's like Medellin's little brother. Once you get to Pereira, the population gets darker, and once you get to Armenia, the population is more Moreno because you're getting closer to Cali. So the Afro Black cities, I would say like Cali, Choco, the coast, Barranquilla, Santa Marta, Cartagena, um, and yeah, I would I would stick to those. And I think if you go like closer to the south, they look more indigenous.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's because it's closer to the Amazon that way, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm. So the west, closer to the West Coast, is gonna be more black people.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I would stay away from Cartagena because it's a very tourist place. From like talking to my friends, I've heard a lot of good things about Cali and Barranquilla. Like those two cities, I've heard a lot of good things about. Armenia is pretty good. It's a lot of mixed population there, and it's still pretty low key. But I feel like if you want maybe like more tourist friendly stuff, probably like Cali and Barranquilla are the places to check out.
Cool. So, passport burner, thanks for the super chat. Somebody asked a question right here. They say, do Colombian and Brazilian females push having children a lot like in the Philippines? I will say no in Brazil. They may tell you that they want one, but I'm going to say it's similar to the United States. It's more than likely going to have to be an accident.
Interesting. Do you mean like kids in a relationship or like you're not even married and they want kids out of you,
Well, that is a good question. Yeah, I don't know which
right?
one they mean by that. Let's
Yeah.
see.
Yeah. I would say like here in Colombia, right?
Mhm.
The family values are so strong here, so they're gonna be pushing you to have kids. But man, I don't know, man. It's kind of a mixed bag. Mixed bag. A lot of the newer, younger women, none of them want to have kids. None of them want to get married. None of them want anything to do with men. So, um, at least like with my girl, right? I mean, she's on the older side, so we're a little hesitant to have a lot of kids. But she's still on board with yeah, we want to have kids, like two or three. I want to have like four. I want to have two of our own and then adopt two more. Like you, I want to have a big family. But yeah, I would say like in general, kids are pretty important here.
So, what would you say the weather is like in Colombia?
For the most part, it's pretty tropical, but Colombia's pretty diverse. Where I'm living in Manizales, it's like San Francisco weather. It's on the colder side. It's like 60, 65 most of the time. If you go to Medellin, it's the city of eternal spring. So it's like 75, 80 degrees all the time. I thought Medellin was nice, but at night it can get hot sometimes. And the pollution's really bad in Medellin. If you go to
Hmm.
Cartagena, the coast, it's like super, super hot. But the Eje Cafetero where I live, Manizales, Pereira, Armenia, it's cool because you get like Pereira is pretty similar to Medellin and weather-wise. Armenia is similar, but it's a little more like humid. And then I think Choco is like next to the coast, so you get like coastal weather. But for the most part, I would say it's like hot in most of Colombia. And also the way that the weather's the what's the word stations no seasons.
Hmm.
Colombia doesn't really have seasons. It's just like 3 months. There's like the winter, which is the rainy season, and then the rest is pretty clear. And December is like their summer where it's mostly clear. But we don't have 4 seasons here in Colombia like we do in the States.
So when is that rainy season in Colombia?
It starts in like April and it goes till about July, August.
Okay, so April to July and August. Okay, cool. Because so he says that Colombian women will cheat a metric fuck ton. Least divorce, highest cheating amongst all Latin Hispanic countries. This is why I'm good.
Interesting. I think that's half true. It depends on the kind of women that you're messing with. In a lot of parts of like Colombia, the reputation is still important, and infidelity is really bad here in Colombia in general. So a lot of the women, I would say, I don't know. I think it depends on the people you mess with. I mean, I don't know what the other people in the chat think, but in my opinion, I don't think I haven't had any girl cheat on me here in Colombia. But I've heard that it's pretty common with. I've heard that too. I don't know.
So how would you say that your wife's family accepted you being a foreigner and marrying a daughter? How did that go?
Interesting. That's a good question. So my girl is very heavily invested in the church. A godly woman. She's been in the church for like 30 plus years. So when I came into the community, right, it was like I had her family vet me. I had all the church leaders vet me. I had everybody vet me. But I felt like I was a pretty stand up guy. I was honest, and I I'm true in my intentions to follow Jesus Christ. So it was not as hard as you would think. In the beginning, they were a little, what's the word? They were like, "Oh, what are you doing hanging out with a foreigner? What are his intentions? Are you sure that he wants to actually be with you for you, or is he like, what does he want?" But after they saw like my personality and my values and how I believe in the traditional family, how I believe in marriage, all that stuff, they opened up pretty quickly to me, and it's not a problem that I'm a foreigner.
So I will say in Brazil, they say that same thing. I think that's any country. If you're a foreigner, they're like, is he just trying to fuck, or
Yeah.
is he trying to be with you? The chick I'm talking to now, her mother, I knew she was you never actually know, but I think I knew she was a good girl because her mother wouldn't. She's 30. No, she's damn. I almost forgot. She's 29.
Okay.
So I'm thinking about you, what you said, 33. Her mother wouldn't let her come see me when I was in Rio, and she's just very timid. But I had to meet her family the other day over the phone, and they seem pretty welcoming.
Yeah. What was that like, bro? How was that?
Like I said, they were pretty welcoming. I'm pretty sure it'd have been better in person.
Yeah.
But it wasn't bad at all. It was better. I'm not gonna say it was better than being in the United States. I think it's all been right. It's pretty. I think they accept you if their daughter speaks highly of you, which hopefully she would.
Right.
They'll accept you as long as you're well put together and mannerable.
Exactly.
But you have to be that. You have to be that. If you're dating a foreigner, because as an American, you already have a negative persona.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm glad you brought that up. It's funny because a lot of foreigners think that you come here and they treat you like a king. It's kind of half true and half not. There's a lot of women that will look for you for money and for sex, but if you want an actual relationship, being a foreigner is actually like it's a hindrance. There's a lot of more steps that you have to cross because they're like, okay, what is he doing here? Is he going to stay here for long term? Does he just want to come and hit it and quit it? Right? You feel like the family's opinion. Okay, let's say like you're talking to the girl, right? And her family said, "No, I don't like Austin. You shouldn't date him." Do you think that her family's opinion holds a lot of weight?
In Brazil?
Yeah.
I haven't been on the end of the spectrum where they said they didn't like me, but I'm gonna have to go. I don't think they're like American women, where most American women I've heard and I think it's true from my experience. If the people around, it's like they don't think for themselves. So if the people around them don't like something or someone, they can't like it. But I noticed in Brazil, I said this in one of my videos, they see you, and if they like what they see, that's it. I mean, they'll probably listen if a family member says something, but that's not gonna. They're gonna try to. They're more likely to try to find out first, because her mother actually thought I was gonna traffic her or some shit.
What?
But that didn't stop her. Yeah, but a lot of Brazilians think that because hey, there is a big market for it. I'm pretty sure I don't do human trafficking or anything, but I'm just saying I'm pretty sure if you were selling women, if you said you had a Brazilian, that one would get ran through because we have been marketed that Brazilians have some of the most beautiful women.
Right. Yeah. In Colombia
So
too. Yeah.
Priest Channel, thanks for the super chat. He says, how much attention could you get if you are in fitness and abs within these countries? So Brazil, I know for a fact, is a fitness country,
Yeah.
especially with women. Google Brazil. One day when I do a live, I have a double screen when I get my other computer here in a few days. I'm going to show you the legs on Brazilian women. It seems like they only work legs.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Colombia is in Medellin. There's a huge fitness culture too, but the difference in Medellin is that there's a lot of plastic surgery, right? So even though like the fitness is pretty big, they're in shape. I would say 70% of the women in Medellin are like operated on. For me, what's your opinion on like natural beauty and like boob jobs and stuff?
The only type of plastic surgery that I can find attractive without really being a turnoff is like if they get their lips done, their lips filled, or if they get their breasts done. But
Hmm.
as far as ass shots and all that,
Yeah, I feel like you got to earn the ass. Like you got to get it at the gym, bro. You can't
yeah,
buy it. Yeah.
your ass is all a muscle. It can be grown.
Yeah.
Uh, but hey, maybe for some people, maybe not. I don't know. But
Yeah.
usually they never do the ass jobs right.
Yeah. It always just like the diaper butt, right? It just always looks
Yeah.
so like unproportionate. Like for me, like when it comes to plastic surgery, I think I'd be okay with a boob job. But for me, like anything with the face is a no go, and like anything with the butt, to me, I'm just like they're just lazy. Come on, get in the gym, dude. Like I don't want to see like this the weird diaper booty. I don't know.
You think even the lips, you wouldn't go for the lips if they got the
Nah,
lips?
dude, and nothing with the face, bro, because it never ages well. You know, it may look good in the moment, but like 5 years from now, it's gonna just look like when girls get their lips done and they laugh, it just doesn't it look weird to you, bro? Like when
Okay,
they
I haven't paid attention to that one.
that like to me, I can't fuck with that. I'm just yeah, that's weird to me, bro.
So we have a lady in here. That's very unusual. I just want to let you know. You come here talking crazy, you will be blocked.
Yeah, it's cool, man. But yeah, so I actually gotta take off in like 5-10 minutes. So if
Okay.
there's any other questions or anything else that you want to talk about.
Let's see. Does anybody else have any questions? I think we touched on a lot of stuff.
Yeah. You
He
want
said,
to
"Huh?
how bad is the drugging in Colombia? Colombia has a reputation of drugging and robbing dudes.
That's a
Yeah,
good."
yeah, it's actually a big issue right now. I think it depends on the crowd that you hang out with. I always recommend to foreigners try to live with locals at least for a week or 2 weeks when you arrive to Colombia because they can introduce you to their friends, and that's just like the best way to like to meet the right people. If you meet girls on dating apps, 90% of them are prostitutes. And when you go to a club, if you see two girls that are by themselves, that's a red flag. Because when Colombian women go out, they always go out in groups. They either go out with like, there's always guys in the groups, or they go out with like their friends and their family, but they're never out them by themselves. So if you see a girl by herself or with like a partner, like just two girls alone at a bar, that's already a red flag.
Wow.
And I would just say, just kind of like be smart, man. Like if you were pulling fours in the States, you go to Colombia and then the nine is talking to you, bro. It's like use your brain, man. Come on. It's just yeah.
Wow. Damn. Okay, that's good information. You said that two girls by themselves. That's a lot to look out for. See,
Yeah.
if I lived in Colombia, I would have went and got a wife too, because
Yeah.
the hookup doesn't even sound like it's worth it there.
Yeah, in my opinion, it's funny. I made a video about this a while ago on the Medellin expat page. It's a freaking mess, and there's a bunch of like 50, 60-year-old dudes that come and like complain about the women and stuff. And I remember there was a post that a guy was like bragging about a girl he was with, this girl, big boobs, whatever. And then literally 20, 30 other people commented saying that they were with this girl too.
Oh God,
Yeah.
God, yeah. That's why I would never just no. I would never no. I would never post it. No, because how do I mention you? What kind of question is that? So somebody says, Will Connery says, I hope I said that last name right. He says, Wes, what computer do you use to edit videos, and what do you use for videos?
Yeah, I use a Mac 2019. I use Final Cut Pro. My main camera is a Sony ZV-1, costs about $800, and then I have a GoPro. It's called like Osmo Action. I like it over a GoPro. A GoPro is too saturated with the colors, and I like a more flat image so I can edit it. That's how I like to edit. Yeah.
Okay. So how likely are you to get your camera snatched in Colombia?
In here in Manizales, it's not that big of a deal. In Medellin, I would be very careful with it. I wouldn't bring that camera out. I would just use my GoPro, or if we're in like a mall, I would bring maybe the nice camera out. But yeah, in general, I would not bring like electronics out in Medellin. That's
So I wanted to use this DJI Pocket camera to record.
yeah,
You
that's
think
nice.
that'd be fun? Thank
Yeah,
you.
it's good. It's good because it fits in your pocket and it's not flashy.
Yeah.
Like that's the name of the game. You don't want to be flashy.
Hmm. Okay. Uh, she says, "How do I mention you?" I don't know. I don't know what you mean. But D May says, "Dating in Brazil overall is very healthy and fun. If you're trying to wife up faster in a safer country, you'll go to Thailand or the Philippines." I've
Yeah,
heard that.
yeah.
I've heard you can't
Filipinos,
get
man.
women.
I mean,
Huh?
this yeah, Filipinos are on a whole nother level too, man. I have family in the Philippines. My parents were actually born in the Philippines, and Filipino women are they're the freaking Latin people of Asia. They're wild.
Thanks for the super chat from both of y'all as well. So, Kyle Tucker says, "How can we reach you to get a list of cities you name, like the tourist cities and versus areas you live in, or where the Afro Latinas are at?"
Find me on Instagram, Wesleezy, WESLEEZY. Shoot me a DM on there, and then I'll give you the information. All good, bro.
Crease Channel, what was the best system you guys used to learn Portuguese? I use Duolingo.
I just lived with locals. I've always wanted to learn Spanish, so for me, it was like I just put myself in an environment. I live with locals, and yeah, I was just speaking every day Spanish, like 4 to 5 hours. So that's how I got good so quickly.
Thanks for the super chat. Let's see if we got some more. Yes. Okay. That looks like that might be all the questions. Does anybody else have any questions left?
Yeah. Wes, how do you go about living with the locals? Are there programs or something like that? There's a website called homestay.com, which allows you to stay with the family or find like co-living situations. I would recommend doing that. Let's see. How much Spanish should you learn before traveling to Colombia? I feel like as long as you can get by with the basics, it's good enough for the beginning. But if you spend like three to 6 months in Colombia, I would try to make an effort to at least get better. And when the locals love it when you like make an effort to improve the Spanish too. They're pretty tolerant about it. Let me see. What kind of religion are
Thanks for the
Colombian
chat.
women subscribed? Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just Neil Stewart says women in the West ruin themselves through their inability to vet men, as West said he was vetted. Yes,
Yep.
women, and that's because most of the women in the West do not, they lack family, right? Back in the
Yeah.
day,
They don't
the
respect their
men,
fathers. They don't respect masculine
yeah,
energy.
back in the day, the men used to help vet their daughters' options, right? But now they don't respect them or they're not there. And women in the West. I don't know about everywhere else, but women in the West are a horrible judge of character. I mean, I titled a video that they're they. That's why they go for the same drug dealers and all because they can't pick by themselves. Clearly,
Right. They pick from worldly values. They're like, oh, he has to be 6 feet. He has to just a bunch of like superficial stuff. He
yeah.
has to it's dumb. The women in these countries, they don't okay. So the guy asked like that question about the abs, right? The it's not really about the fitness, it's about your frame, your masculine frame, right?
Hmm.
I feel like in the States it's very superficial, like they have to look a certain way. But then in Latin America, it's about how you carry yourself, how you talk to them, how you make them feel, right? Like just having masculine frame. That's the big difference.
So I do not live in Brazil. I still live in the United States, but I have been to Rio. I don't know where I want to live in Brazil permanently yet, though. But Passport Burner says I've been divorced 4 years. In 2019, I applied for my passport and have been traveling to Colombia for 3 years straight. Thanks for the super chat. Where in Colombia do you go? Okay, let's see. My Facebook is also Austin Holloman, but
Yeah.
Renzo just tagged the group down there.
So there's this guy Van. He left a question I thought was funny. How do the girls in Colombia afford surgery? That's a good ass question, bro. You tell me.
I've heard in Brazil that they actually because that's the same question in Brazil. Like, how do they afford it? They said that the credit card companies actually, or the credit system actually allows more women more debt for stuff like that because they know they're gonna buy it, and they
Interesting.
know women have fucked their entire income off on stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
interesting, bro.
I think
This guy asked, why didn't you head to the Philippines to get a wife? Why Colombia? I've always, to be honest, I've just always been attracted to Latin women, and I found myself in Colombia. It's just where life took me. You know, if life wanted me to go to the Philippines, I would have ended there. But to be honest, I always wanted to be with a Latin woman.
correct. So what made you want to be? What made you want a Latin woman?
Just the family values are something else, bro. Like when you go to a Mexican party or a Colombian party, it's just like on a whole nother level, you know. And like everybody, all the family members are there. They're all dancing. They're just having a good time. They're so welcoming, you know. And coming
Mm-hmm.
from Asians, right? We're so cold. We're very like the opposite of that. And for my personality, I always felt like I had a Latin heart. So when I would get invited to these Mexican parties, I would be like, dude, I feel like so at home. And I would go to these Asian parties, and they'd be super boring. And I don't know, man. I just always related with Latin culture a lot more.
I can see that. I can see
Yeah.
that. Well, let's see. Does anybody else have any other questions? I think
Yeah.
we've answered most things.
Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, I gotta go in a little bit, but yeah, man. I just wanted to say for you, it's really exciting like watching you grow so quickly, and you got the cosign from like O'Shea, and people are comparing you to like Kevin Samuels, rest in peace. It's pretty crazy, man. How like literally overnight you just kind of came out of nowhere.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I think actually right now I'm about to hit 12,000 subscribers while we're on this live. So
Wow,
we're at
really?
11,991.
Wow.
Now we're at 12,004. So yeah. Hmm.
That's bro. Yeah, good for you,
Well,
bro.
I think I might stay on here a little longer. They might want to keeps asking me for a wrench. I haven't seen your name enough to give you a moderator status yet.
That's funny. Will Connery, that comment, it was a Latin body that hooked the culture, not the culture. And I can't argue with that, bro. I can't argue with that. Yeah.
They said make sure I visit your channel too one day.
Yeah. That'd be cool, but yeah, I love to have you on. Yeah.
Yeah, we could do the same thing. You just because I don't think we did too many Brazil questions, so you just
Yeah.
interview me about Brazil.
When's the next time you're going?
I know for sure I'm going during Carnival, but I may go back sooner than that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I would love to interview you again the next time you go to Brazil, so you get like a better idea of what it's like there. And then yeah, man, maybe dude, it's awesome seeing like other like people our age doing this stuff, you know, and like and speaking up, it's refreshing.
Yeah, it is. So Taylor the 13th says, have you guys been in a situation or Colombia or Brazil where you're dating a daughter but the mother wants you to? I've never met their
No.
brothers in person.
Yeah, no, that's kind of disrespectful. I'm not about that life, so
Yeah. In the United States, yeah.
yeah, yeah. All right. Yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. Yeah, I think yeah, man. Best of luck on your channel. Best of luck with everything. I'm really excited to see what happens, and yeah, good for you, bro. You're going
Thank you.
viral like crazy. Good for you, man.
I appreciate it, man. I wish your channel luck as well. I keep in touch with you as well.
Definitely, bro. Definitely. All right, catch y'all later. Peace out.
Yes, sir. You have a good night.
Thank you. You too.
All right. We got 328 people in here. Do y'all want to see do y'all want to have another talk? Or do we need to go ahead and end the live stream? So let's see. I wonder, is there a way I can put two screens? What's the total cost to fly out like that? Like what? They said they want to talk. We all just chilling. Let's go. Okay. So I want to see if I can put the comments because I posted the video that I did yesterday, the interview, and the video is blown up. This is the first video I posted that has gotten almost 5,000 views in the first 4 hours. Yeah, it's at 4,500 views, and it's been 4 hours and 4.6 thousand views, and it's been 4 hours and 15 minutes, and it has 176 comments, and people are watching like 8 minutes on average. So it's interesting to a lot of people. But let's see how I can do that. Are Brazilian women that traditional? I wouldn't say they are. I'm going on Austin's channel soon at J Bones. I'm trying to spread the message too. Yes, sir. We can actually do some call-ins now. A StreamYard yarn. You mean like a call-in? But I want to see if I can add the other screen. Does anybody know how to add another screen on StreamYard to move to Brazil in December? I wouldn't. Hey. Oh, you said pass? No, not passport rage, not that video. I'm talking about the video of me and Melanie King yesterday. It's got 176 comments. Passport rage blew up too, though. Passport rage didn't do as good, but it did. It's almost at 2,000 views, 96 comments. It's been up about 8 hours. Yeah, the Melanie one. Yeah, that one. I mixed up Kevin Samuels and your slogan together. You can't make this shit up. Get your passports. It's that bad. Ah, that's a good one. Melanie King reached out to me. She left a comment. Hit the screen, hit the share screen, then Chrome tab. I'm not on Google Chrome. I'm on what is this? Microsoft Edge. A bootleg ass. What's the question? The question is, I'm trying to do a double screen so I can show y'all what I'm looking at. I want y'all to read these comments with me. A lot of people said that they think that Melanie King was attracted to me. What do y'all think about that? I think I saw that. Yeah, this right here. Yeah, it's a lot of people not liking it. A lot of people not liking it, but hey. Let's see. Somebody says, yeah, she was. I think so. Microsoft Edge, I'm disowning you. Yeah, I didn't even try. For the longest, I thought this was Explorer, Windows Explorer or whatever. I guess that's the same thing, right? Just a newer version. There should be a share screen at the bottom. Oh shit, that's what that means. Okay, I thought that was something else. She was feeling you, gang. The stream from last night that's going on Patreon. So my Patreon is up. I will put the link to my Patreon here. Now the video is not in there yet. The video won't be in there until tonight. I have Darius. If you did not see the full interview with me and Darius, you need to watch that. You need to watch that, but you really have to also watch the passport. We had like 10, 15 passport brothers on here, and there was a lot of gems that got dropped. Like I was pretty much quiet the whole time because I was listening to shit. But I felt like that was so much information that had to be put on Patreon. I can't. Yeah, she did look good, didn't she? They smoked AMS. Yeah, he was getting outnumbered. So let's go to share screen. Let's see. So we're going to share this one right here. Can y'all see that? Oh, can y'all see that? Okay. So let's read these comments. This man is a 2.0 version of Kevin Samuels. A lot of black women cheered Kevin's death, not realizing the death was already cast from him, encouraging young men all over this country. You think they hated Kevin? They're really gonna hate this young man's guts and his message. They already screaming, "How dare he tell our men to say fuck them and fly elsewhere?" Well, these women say fuck y'all. So I agree with this person. You have to. You have to. Ha ha ha. She's trying hard. Oh my gosh. She brought up the kid thing like we would care. She'd be making that her problem since you don't have to pay. It's nothing new about how bad it's been in the United States. I mean, how bad it's been with women in the U.S. It's just that the men are being more vocal about it now. Facts. I've expressed my frustration with the women in the dating scene since 2011, but I need to, but I need it. I need to put it out there on YouTube. Yeah, exactly. Great approach, short and sweet. Wow, she's actually trying to scare Austin or warn him about custody laws in Brazil. Is she serious? The laws right here have always is still doing and will continue to rob men of their wealth, properties, pensions, but most importantly, our children right before destroying our lives. Women have always loved it. I won't be surprised if she has had her moments of celebrating such things over men. And if she's correct, can't read for shit. Not all that glitters is gold, but having an American woman is the same thing as having dirty fish. Damn. It's official now. Crown Austin the new king of the manosphere. Is that what y'all want to see? So, yo, do you have experience with Eastern European women? And how might that compare to other foreign women? Well, thank you for the super chat, first of all. Uh, Second, no, I do not have any experience with Eastern European women, but I will soon. How might that compare with other foreign women? Well, they may be more conservative, right? Um, because all foreign women aren't the same. You know, English is foreign to the United States, but we know English and Romanian aren't going to behave the same. The title of the panel is not up yet, but it's going to be on Patreon. So stay tuned for my Patreon. I'll post it and it'll be there. Anybody going to Brazil in December? No, I want to. I want to. You said drop the Patreon link. They put you ahead of watered down channels. King Austin and the Knights of the Round Table. Exactly. If you are in my inner circle and they make me king of the manosphere, we are all going into this shit together and we got really big plans. Really big plans. You need to be trying to fight your way into the inner circle. Tons of big plans. Okay, so let's read. My man stood 10 toes down. Seems like she wasn't paying attention when she brought up that child's custody case at the end. These, oh, here goes. Oh, here we go. These N words gonna go to Brazil and get drugged and robbed and locked up. He's saying that shit like I haven't been there. Her, what do you mean? Him, fish, flounder. Yeah, exactly. Men from Texas, salute. He hit all points. He was responding like he was at a congressional hearing. Yeah. Austin should be at least 25, 50, 75, 100K. People tripping. He's going to get there. We just hit 12. That was another 1,000 for today. You said the link for the stream. I don't the link for the stream is not available right now. It's about to be on Patreon, but I haven't uploaded it yet. I don't want to. I mean, you can buy the Patreon right now, but I'm just letting you know when you do buy it. Here, I'll drop the Patreon link and you can buy it, but just know that the videos aren't on there yet. So I'm gonna drop the Patreon link right here. Talking nothing but stereotypes. Yeah. Okay, so here is the Patreon right here. I'm about to drop it in the comment section. Thank you, Clarence. I appreciate that. I just dropped the Patreon link right there. The Patreon link is pinned at the top. House of Lamar says, do the guys in Brazil hate on American dudes? No. No. Not at all. Rock with my guy truthfully, and I'm a year younger. I wouldn't go as far as to say that I'd stop dating in America altogether because on my verge of giving up. I ran across two chicks that gave me hope, though I do understand in his mind it's why rely on a chance when there's a place that has 100% possibility. And who can deny logic? Best of luck. Thank you. That's exactly what I mean. I gave up at 18 years old and I'm 3 years older than this guy. Exactly. This homie got the Errol Spence accent. Oh, here we go. I see why he's single. Well, they might not be talking shit. My personality is very similar. You can be so honest and nonchalant that people don't know how to take you. They end up doing a bunch of weird shit to try to get a reaction out of you playing games, and it backfires on them. That might be true. That might be what happens. I'm not familiar with this chick, to be honest. I don't listen to female YouTubers, so I don't know her thoughts on being a submissive woman. That should be required for any American who wants a free thinking man. Yeah. Oh, this guy right here is in the lab right now. Keep it stoic, short, and to the point. Keeping it. I thought it was a good interview, but Melanie didn't really provide any good questions. Yeah. Hard to debate with the interview. It doesn't change it up a bit too much. Keep on the grind, and we're all rooting for you. I appreciate you, bro. People rock with you because you keep it a buck. Keep telling the truth. Facts. That's all I know how to do. Melanie is slightly attracted to him because of his confidence and steadfastness in what he wants to do. I said attracted, not means like she wants to date him. That means she desires his qualities on the man she dates. P.S. Melanie is a glowing, beautiful woman. Let's see what we got. There's no excuse for the pH being off. I swear. How the fuck do you make an excuse for that? Who do I want to do an interview with? Get me anybody. Preferably somebody with more than 50 to, well, preferably with somebody more than like 100,000 followers, though. I mean, subscribers. Yeah, you did just hear you heard the Jack in the Box. You won't find a real relationship overseas or find real friends unless you start learning the language. You can blend in and become one of them or just be a tourist. Facts. Nobody's gonna, they have patience to let you smash without knowing the language, but nobody's gonna deal with you long term. Uh yeah, it was random, wasn't it? Okay. If men accept that challenge, they will find out how much of a joke the unconstitutional family court is. Yeah. Straight to the point, spoke facts. Dude, women can have hygiene problems no matter what country. We can get that one a dislike. This is my motherfucking NIGGA. Protect him at all costs. Thanks. Good Lord, Austin. It's that bad. It's that bad. This man really doesn't care at all. Sure don't. Blunt legacy. Achievement unlocked. Oh, here we go. As a dude that's had intimate relationships with women overseas from my teenage years, American men being attracted to him is the same thing as a celebrity being into the average American woman. Female hypergamy is universal. The foreign woman then look down on the local men. I would agree. That might no. There are some. I did run into quite a few Brazilian women that didn't want to fuck with you just because you were American. My boy really finna blow up. Thanks. $13K by Friday. Oh, that's $13K by tomorrow. It's gonna be, what's today? Wednesday? Be $14K by Friday. He's cold and serious. This is what most men need to be in the US because these Western women be acting like they're the prize. Exactly. I'm telling you, y'all gotta be numb. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Oh man, I was down Austin's face. I'm so done with it. I'm gonna have to go back and look at that. They said they wouldn't trust her at all. Day one, stay on the neck with the awareness accountability. I don't know what it is, but he hit a nerve day one. It's that bad. She was agreeing with me. Yeah, she doesn't really power this movement because this isn't about black men. This isn't about American men. This is Western enlightened Western men. I speak on America because that's where I live, but this is for all men in all countries in the West that are experiencing the same problems. Okay, he doesn't believe it. He doesn't have to. She's touching their hair too much. They talking about that old trick where if they touch their hair, I mean they must like you. Appreciate that cash up. I got two of them. I forgot to shout out the one earlier. Let's look at the now it's almost at 5,000 now, 4.8. It was just at 4.6. 200 people have seen it since the past like 15 minutes it was, I think. Let's look at the passport rage. Yes, sir. We going to the stack of needles. We're going to the needle factory. Facts. Just somebody else saying I sound like Eddie Murphy. I still do. I'm glad you are speaking and letting the world know how so many black men think. It shows how effective the enemy has been over the years and has destroyed the community to society at large. I'm always easier to complain and blame. It's always easier to complain and blame of others when the problem and the solution is in the mirror. Here we go with this shit. Look in the mirror. What did I tell y'all? I know this shit by heart. Look in the mirror. That's what they love to say. That bullshit. Look in the mirror. Oh, they typed a lot of shit too. Basically, it's bullshit. Okay. Sea of needles. Yeah. If her pH off, get a passport. Yes, sir. Everybody liked 836. What did I say at 836? Men avoid the passport rage by being able to spend more time in those countries. Facts. That's all you can do. You have to stay longer because what the reason you're pissed off is because you can't stay. That's why you're pissed off. So yeah, he's right. I think there's a difference between passport and red pill rage. Red pill rage is men snapping out of the blue pill mindset, realizing that the system is set up against them here in the States because of the gynocentric government that pins all fault on the shorter half of the stick of men. While passport rage is the same thing, but realizing that only the place where the issues exist with the females is here in the States, in the NATO countries that sway liberal. While women abroad are more cooperative and submissive, traditional, and treat men well and allow them to lead. So when you come back home and you see the nasty behavior of the westernized countries, women, and compare it to his passport rage that kicks in and makes you realize that life abroad as someone who earns bank in a stronger currency is generally better. So immediately want to leave and go back. Exactly. Thank you, sir. At the 6 minute mark, you speak of how American girls look worse. I'll put my 2 cents in a part of it. You are what you eat. Here we go. These so-called third world countries eat. Oh, okay, they're not talking shit. Eat better than any of these in the USA. As an example, this fact blew my mind, but you know how bad McDonald's is with all the processed food? Yeah, I pretty much get what they're saying. DJP says passport rate high. Yes, sir. I think mine was in Belize. Yes, sir. Kevin Samuels has a replacement. Okay. Spoken like a distinguished gentleman. Uh, Peso Man looks like iRobot. He actually got on the other live and he called me a fraud on the damn thing. Nah, I didn't see the picture of him. Somebody sent me the link to the picture. I gotta see what he looks like. He got on the live and he was like, say translate this in Portuguese. And he translated he told me to say like 3 sentences, and I was able to do like half of it. And I stopped and I was like, did you say 3 candies? And then he just didn't say nothing because he was in shock because he's fucking stupid. It's in the Discord. Let's have a look. What Discord is it in? Press your link. You know, I'm still learning how to work Discord. Oh, it's that bad channel. Oh. I don't see it though. I'm on it. It's that bad. Okay. But let's see. That's him? Wow. Well, yeah, I seen his dumb ass. I didn't see that. I didn't know his picture came up though. Uh, I'm about to get off, go home, tired as hell. Thank you. I'm glad everybody showed up. That was an hour and a half. That was 3 hours of interviews I just did again, but I love it. He said he hadn't like a bitch and exposed himself. He's a dumbass, man. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for everybody that came through. If you're not in the Facebook group, join the Facebook group. I will post the Patreon again. If you guys want access to exclusive content, have a look at the memberships I got in there too. We do shout outs and all that. So yeah, click on that, join the Discord, Facebook group, and I will see y'all. Let me see when I have another live. Oh, I got an interview with Players Life tomorrow at 7 p.m. So I'll see y'all again tomorrow. All right.